afternoon, everybody. This is Robert.
And this is Joseph.
And we welcome you to Riverfront Stadium for today's game between the New York Mets and the Cincinnati Reds. It is a beautiful day here for baseball. Gorgeous here in Cincinnati. Clear skies, 72 degrees, a little breezy, 13-mile-an-hour winds from left to right. Today it'll be Ron Darling starting for the Mets. He's made 4 starts on the year and is 1-1 with an ERA of 2.67. This is his first start against Cincinnati. He'll be opposed by Mario Soto. He's made 5 starts on the year and is 1-3 with an ERA of 6.49. This is his first start against the Mets. Hello, everybody. Welcome here to Riverfront Stadium. Beautiful day for baseball, and this is a very interesting matchup. The Mets and Reds are tied in the series, 1-1. This is the rubber game of this 3-game set between these two. I'm expecting a pretty good matchup here. It's going to be Darling and Soto, and Soto, well, we'll get them in a little bit. Joseph, why don't you give the starting lineup for the Mets?
Well, we got Lenny Dykstra batting first. Wally Backman's going to bat second. Hernandez batting third. Strawberry fourth. Carter's going to bat fifth. We got Danny Heat batting sixth. Ray Knight's going to bat 7th. Howard Johnson gets the call at shortstop batting 8th. And Ron Darling will bat 9th.
Here's how the Reds stand up defensively. We have some guy by the name of Rose at first base. Hope he's not. I wonder if he's got anything on the game today. Ron Oster is at second base. Kurt Stillwell gets the start at shortstop. Dave Concepcion at third. Cal Daniels in left field. Eddie Milner in center field, and Dave Parker in right. So we pretty much got the backups playing today for the Reds. But some of those players I know pretty well. Of course, by the guy by the name of Rose at first base today. Let's get things started here. It is May 4, 1986. Lenny Dykstra will lead off for the Mets. He's batting .317 with a homer and 4 RBIs. The corners are in, so they're expecting him to try to bunt his way on. But I'm going to swing away. Here's the pitch. Dykstra, deep fly ball to Daniels, but he makes the grab to retire Dykstra, 1 out. Here's Backman. Backman batting .359 with 8 runs batted in so far. He's off to a good start. Here's the pitch to Backman. High and outside, ball 4, and Backman will go to first. So the Mets get a base runner and will now bring up Keith Hernandez. Hernandez batting .367, 2 homers, 15 runs batted in. The Mets trying to go ahead and take the second game, 2 games out of 3 here in this series against the Reds. Backman on at first, a bit of a threat to steal, but I'm going to let Hernandez bat. Here's the pitch. It's lined down the first base line, and that's going to go all the way to the wall. Backman rounds third. They're going to send him home. They're going to send Hernandez. They're going to keep Hernandez at second. A poor play. The throw home is out of there. Backman slides for the play. Diaz with the tag, and he is out. But Keith does pick up a double, but the run does not come in. What a throw by Parker and the relay by Oster. Here's Darryl Strawberry. He's batting .302 with 2 homers and 17 runs batted in. Here's the pitch. High and inside. That's a walk. Strawberry goes to first. And that's the second walk issued by Soto. We didn't introduce the players, did we? Bo Diaz at the catcher, and on the mound for the Reds is Mario Soto. Mario Soto is another interesting player. Another Reds pitcher that a lot of people thought was really going to be one of the great ones. He had such high expectations for Soto. They really did. Had high expectations for him. Mario Soto, in 1986, 5 wins, 10 losses, a 4.71 ERA. But in the replay so far, he's struggling. 1 win, 3 losses, and a 6.33 ERA. But Mario Soto was definitely supposed to be one of those players the Reds were really expecting to be really good. We got runners at first and second, 2 outs here in the top of the first. And here's the pitch to Carter. Carter batting .250 with 5 homers and 19 RBIs. Carter lines a single between first and second. That will score a run. Hernandez scores easily. Strawberry moves to third, and the Mets jump out in front 1-0. Nice play by Carter. He got it all in there. Bat just got it right between the infielders to get a good play there and put the Mets out in front. So the Mets still get a run in. Runners at first and third, and the batter is Danny Heat. Heat was 8 for 27 for the replay. Carter at first, Strawberry at third. Early opening moments. Here's the pitch to Heat. Fly ball to center. Milner's got it. And he has it. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors. New York Mets 1, Reds coming up. Starting lineup for Cincinnati will be Milner batting first, Rose batting second, Parker batting third, Daniels is batting fourth, Concepcion will bat fifth, Stillwell bat sixth, Diaz will bat seventh, Oster will bat eighth, and Soto will bat ninth. Joseph, what do we got for the Mets?
We got Keith Hernandez at first base. Wally Backman is at second. Howard Johnson again getting the call at shortstop. Ray Knight at third. Danny Heap is getting the call in left. Lenny Dykstra in center. Darryl Strawberry is in right. Behind the plate is the kid, of course. And on the mound for the Mets will be Ron Darling. Darling, 1 win, 1 loss, a 2.67 ERA for the replay. So far he's pitching how he pitched so far early in the year. Eddie Milner will lead it off for the Reds. In 1986, he batted .259, 15 homers, 47 runs batted in. And yes, that is Eddie Milner. He's batting .263 for the replay, however. He's got a home run, 4 RBIs. There's the pitch from Darling. And it's a frozen rope between first and second, and Eddie Milner gets on with a base hit. Strawberry tosses it back in, and the Reds get the leadoff base runner. Milner, of course, does not have Eric Davis' speed. So I don't see a steal threat. Here is Pete Rose. Pete Rose was definitely in the declining years of this time. In 1986, he batted .219, 25 runs batted in. In the replay, he's 1 for 10. But Pete Rose, he bet on baseball. All right. Who cares? Put him in the darn Hall of Fame because it's where he belongs. Does anybody have any problems with Pete Rose in there? I don't. Here's the pitch to Rose. High and away, and Darling issues the free pass. That's a walk. So Ron Darling comes in here, gives up a base hit and a walk to Rose. And now the batter will be Dave Parker. Parker batting .257, 2 homers, 16 RBIs. So the Reds got something going here early as well. Runners at first and second, nobody out. Here's the pitch from Darling. Swing and a miss, struck him out. First strikeout for Darling. And we'll now bring up Cal Daniels. Here's another player that a lot of people expect to be a little better than good. Cal Daniels in 86 batted .320, 6 homers, 23 runs batted in. For the replay, he's batting .344. He's got 3 homers already and 6 RBIs. So he's not even halfway to the amount of at-bats he had that year, and he's already halfway to 6 home runs. Cal Daniels was another one of those Reds players who was supposed to be better than he wound up to be. Runners at first and second, 1 out. Here's the pitch from Darling. Grounded to Backman at second. Backman throws to Johnson. He throws to Johnson onto Hernandez, and it's a high throw. Hernandez goes up, and he can't get it. Milner will score. Daniels goes to second. And it looks like Daniels tweaked a hamstring. He's going to be heading for the dugout, and Eric Davis is going to take over at second base. But it's an error, but a run scores. We're tied at 1. Big error for the Mets. That was a double play, and just not a good throw by Backman. And Hernandez just couldn't make it, and that error costs the Mets a run. Here's Dave Concepcion. He's batting .204 with 3 RBIs. Eric Davis now at second base will probably take over from Milner since it looks like Milner now is out of the game. Here's the pitch to Concepcion, and he swings and misses at the strikeout. 1 run, 1 hit, 1 error. New York Mets 1, Reds 1, top of the second. Ray Knight leads off for the Mets. He's batting .292 with a homer and 11 RBIs. Mario Soto checks and deals. Swing and a miss, struck him out. Soto gets a big strikeout. That will now bring up Howard Johnson. Howard Johnson batting .364. No homers yet. 4 runs batted in. He's off to a good start for this replay. Yankees leading Texas 6-2 in the 8th inning in American League action. And Howard Johnson riding a 6-game hitting streak. Soto gets the sign, the pitch to Johnson.
He'll blast a line drive towards first, but Rose will make the catch. 2 down. Well, maybe Rose may be in his declining years, but he made the big stab there. 2 men away now for Ron Darling. He's 0 for 9 as a batter. The pitch to Ron struck him out, and that retires the side. Second strikeout for Soto. Bottom of the second coming up, still tied at 1. Here's Kurt Stillwell for the Reds. He's 6 for 20 for the replay. He steps in the batter's box. Ron Darling needs to go ahead and pitch very well here. The Reds are one of the worst teams in this replay. The Mets need to take 2 out of 3 in this series. Here's the pitch to Stillwell. Grounder to Backman at second. He's got it. Throws to first, and he will get it for the out. Why couldn't Backman have done that earlier? The run was not charged to Darling since it was an error, so Ron Darling still has not given up any runs so far. Here's Bo Diaz getting the call for the Reds at batting next. He's batting .242, 6 RBIs. In '86, he batted .272. He had 10 home runs and 56 runs batted in. Bo Diaz actually had a pretty decent year for the Reds. Darling sets on the mound. Here's the pitch. Ground ball between third and short. Knight coming on, charges, throws, and gets him out. 2 men away now for Ron Oster. Oster batting .275 with 4 runs batted in. Darling gets it in from Carter. Carter gives him what he wants him to throw. Here's the pitch from Darling. It's a grounds out base hit between third and short. People fire it back in. But Oster is on first with a 2-out single. And the batter now will be Mario Soto. He's 2 for 10 as a hitter. He batted 3 for 27 as a hitter in '86. Darling wants to just concentrate on Soto. Here's the pitch. Lined right to Dykstra, and Dykstra makes the catch. 1 hit, but that's all. We go to the third. Still tied at 1. Dykstra will lead off for the Mets. He is 0 for 1. Corners are in, and here's the pitch to Dykstra. Soft liner to second, but Oster was right there. Makes the play, 1 down. And now here's Backman. Backman walked his last time out. I'm sure he'd like to get himself a hit to try to clear himself of that error that allowed the Reds to get a run in the first. Here's the pitch to Backman. Backman bloops it into short center field. That's a base hit. Backman will hold it first. Milner scoops it up and fires it back in. And it wasn't Milner that was out. It was Daniels. My bad. So Backman on it first. The batter is Hernandez. Eric Davis is in left field right now. Backman a bit of a threat, but I don't think you're going to say I'm going to let Hernandez hit his 1 for 1. Soto looks at Backman, and now the pitch to Hernandez. He smashes a grounder to first, and Rose throws to second for 1, back to first for 2. They will get the double play. Third double play grounded into by Hernandez this season. No runs, a hit, no errors. Bottom of the third. Here's Milner leading off for the Reds. He's 1 for 1. Darling gets in there. Here's the pitch to Milner. It's a deep fly towards left, but Heap's there, and he makes the catch. 1 down. And now Rose. Again, as I'll ask the question again. Does Rose belong in the Hall of Fame? He was pretty much what? The Ted Williams of the 70s and 80s? But he bet on baseball. Well, as I said, there are a lot of people that think he doesn't. I don't really. To me, it's what he did on the field. I just got to give Pete Rose the credit. Put him in there, and of course, if he goes in there, you better put Shoeless in. The ghost of Shoeless Joe Jackson better be in there with him. Here's the pitch to Rose. It's a grounder between first and second. Backman's got it. Throws to first for the second out. And now we'll see Parker. Parker's 0 for 1. Darling gets in there. He sets and deals as the pitch to Parker. Rips a grounder up the middle. Backman's got it. Throws to first and just gets him. He said he had all day to field it, but I think that was closer than it looked. Nothing across. Top of the fourth, still tied at 1. Strawberry leads off for the Mets. Strawberry, he walked his last time up. Strawberry gets in there. Here's the pitch to Darryl. Hard liner down the first base line. That's fair. That'll be extra bases. It goes all the way to the corner. Strawberry's going to have a nice double. So that's a nice way to start it off for the Mets. Yes, it is. Strawberry just got that really off the end of the bat, right down the line. Parker had to go chase for it. There was nothing he could do. Strawberry gets an easy double, and now brings up Carter. Carter 1 for 1. He lined a single between first and second to score Hernandez. Soto gets into the stretch. Carter at the plate. Here's the pitch. Rip to first. Rose makes the catch. 1 out. Strawberry stays at second. The batter now is Heap. Heap is 0 for 1. Heap sits in there. Strawberry still at second. And the pitch to Danny. Hits a line shot to center, but Milner will make the catch. 2 down. And now here's Ray Knight, who's 0 for 1. Strawberry still at second, looking for someone to bring him in. As I said, beautiful day here at Riverfront Stadium. Here's the pitch to Knight. Ground ball to second. Oster should get it. Throws to first. And he is out. 3.5 done. Bottom of the fourth coming up. Still tied at 1. Eric Davis will now bat for the first time in this game. Batting .246, 4 homers, 10 RBIs. Here's the pitch from Darling. Davis cuts. Routine ground ball to short. Howard Johnson will get him out easily. 1 down. And now Concepcion will bat. He's 0 for 1. Could have a low-scoring game here. Still tied at 1 here, bottom of the fourth, between the Mets and the Reds. Rubber game of this 3-game set. Here's the pitch to Concepcion. Smashed, hugging down the third base line. That's a fair ball. Concepcion's going to try for 3, and he is safe with a triple. That was a blast of a shot. Yep, Concepcion just got a hold of that. Just sent it right down the line, and really with his speed, he was able to get to third easily. 1 out, runner on third. The batter now is Stillwell. He's 0 for 1. The Mets might want to go ahead and I don't think they're going to bring the infield in. It's still early in the game. Darling checks the sign. Here's the pitch to Stillwell. He pops it up to first. Hernandez calling for it. Bloop, and makes it catch. 2 down. And now the batter is Diaz. Diaz 0 for 1. Concepcion still on at third. Here's the pitch to Diaz. Hits a deep fly ball down the left field line, but Heap is there to make the catch. So both teams get runners in scoring position in this inning, but fail to get him to home. Still tied at 1 as we go to the top of the fifth. There's Johnson to lead it off for the Mets. He's 0 for 1. Johnson still riding a 6-game hitting streak. Soto on the mound. And here's the pitch. Struck him out. Third strikeout for Soto. And now the batter is Darling. He's 0 for 1. Here's the pitch. Darling hits a high fly ball down the right field line. And Parker is going to get it to put him away. And Darling's actually just happy he still put the bat on the ball. Detroit leading Minnesota 1-0 in the fifth. Here's Dykstra. He's 0 for 2. Dykstra in the batter's box. Here's the pitch from Soto. Just below the belt. 4th strikeout for Soto. And it's a quick inning for the Mets. Bottom of the fifth, still tied at 1. Ron Oster leads off for Cincinnati. And he's 1 for 1. Oster has turned out to be an unsung hero for Cincinnati in this series. He was one of the reasons why the Reds actually came back in Game 1 to win that game. Darling sets on the rubber. And here's the pitch to Oster. Struck him out. 3rd strikeout for Darling. They'll now bring up Soto. Soto 0 for 1. Darling checks. Here's the pitch to Mario. Grounded to Johnson at short. Routine play. He goes to first. And Soto is out. 2 men down now from Milner. He's 1 for 2. 75 degrees, just perfect. It's a perfect 75 degrees. It doesn't get any better than that. It's a perfect day for baseball now. Not just a great day, it's perfect. 75 degrees, clear skies, maybe the occasional wisp of cloud here and there, and a little bit of a decent breeze. It is a perfect day for baseball here in Cincinnati. Here's the pitch to Milner. A deep fly ball towards right center. Strawberry backpedaling at the wall. That's gone. Eddie Milner smacks a 383-foot shot, and the Reds will take a 2-1 lead. Perfect day for baseball, but that was not the perfect play I was looking for. No, Milner just went ahead and just got all of it. Darling, I think it was a high fastball. Milner saw it and just sent it out of here. What a shot. And it puts the Reds up in front 2-1. Here's Rose. He's 0 for 1. That's the 5th home run issued by Darling this replay. Rose is out there. Here's the pitch to Pete Rose. Grounder to Knight. Throws to first. And he is low throw. Hernandez knocks it down, and Rose will be safe. Second error on the Mets. Well, that was a tough play for Knight anyway. He was pretty far back, and Knight just went ahead and I think he just mistimed the throw a bit. And that is the second error on the Mets in this game. Rose is on at first. He is a stealing threat. The batter is Parker. He's 0 for 2. They attempt the pickoff and send Rose back. Rose is back there. And now they're going to try a pitch out. There goes Rose. Carter with the throw. He's out of there. What a throw by Carter to get Pete Rose. They knew he was going to go, and they nailed him. But the damage is done. 1 run, 1 hit, 1 error. Reds 2, New York Mets 1, top of the 6th. Wally Backman leads off for the Mets. He's 1 for 1. Soto pitching well. He's only given up 1 earned run. Here's the pitch to Backman. Grounder up the middle. Stillwell charging. Throws to Rose, and Backman is safe. Backman has himself an infield hit. He just beat it out. That was really, really close. And I really think he might have been out, but the umpire just gives Backman the benefit of the doubt there. That was really close. Here's Hernandez. Backman on at first. Not going to steal here, and I don't see a hit and run, so Hernandez is just going to hit. Here's the pitch to Keith. It's a routine grounder to second. This should be 2. Oster to Stillwell to Rose. That is the second double play grounded into by Hernandez in this game. Clears the bases. The batter now is Strawberry, who's 1 for 1 with a double. Toronto leading Seattle 2-1 in the 6th. Here's the pitch to Soto, from Soto. Strawberry lines a single to right. How big was that double play now? Strawberry on at first with a base hit, and now the batter is Carter, who's 1 for 2. Strawberry definitely a threat to steal. And why not? But with Carter at bat, I think you're going to go ahead and just let him hit it. Here's the pitch to Carter. Carter hits a rope between first and second. That is a base hit. Strawberry will move to third. Another big hit by Carter. Maybe they should have sent Strawberry, but that's still the right play. Let Carter take the shot at it. See what he can do. He gets a base hit, and now the Mets are threatening with 2 outs. Danny Heap is now up. He's 0 for 2. Strawberry at third, Carter at first. Now Soto in a little bit of a jam. Heap's on the mound at the plate. Here's the pitch from Soto. Bo Diaz is going to talk to Soto. And now the pitch. Line shot right back to Soto, who will make the catch and end the threat. No runs, 3 hits, no errors. Bottom of the 6th, still 2-1 Reds. Dave Parker will bat. He's 0 for 2. 2 big errors for the Mets. One of them cost the Mets a run in the first. Here's the pitch to Parker. Grounds a base hit back up the middle. Dykstra tosses it back in. Parker will hold it first. And the Reds have the leadoff runner on for Davis. Parker at first base. Darling once again, a little bit of a jam. Nobody out, one man on. Here's the pitch to Davis. High and inside, that's a walk. So now runners in first and second and nobody out for Concepcion, who hit a triple his last time up. He's 1 for 2. Darling checking into Carter, see what they want to do here. Runners at first and second, nobody out. Here's the pitch to Concepcion. It's a grounder between first and second. Hernandez to Johnson, and that's all they'll get, as Concepcion will go to first, but they get the one out. And now the batter is Kurt Stillwell. He's 0 for 2. Do you call the infield in here on this play? Or do you try to play for the DP? Well, you're down 2-1, and right now the way Soto's pitching and the way the Mets are actually taking themselves out of scoring opportunities, you might want to make sure that nobody else scores. You're going to bring the infield in against Stillwell. Darling with the pitch. Struck him out. Fourth strikeout by Darling, and now the batter will be Diaz, who's 0 for 2. Still runners at first and third, but now with 2 outs. Here's the pitch to Diaz. Routine grounder to second. Backman's got it, throws to Hernandez, and Darling gets out of the jam. Still 2-1 Reds, top of the 7th. Ray Knight leads off, he's 0 for 2. Soto pitching a good game. He's only given up 7 hits and a run. Mets running out of chances here. 3 innings left unless we head to extras. Here's the pitch to Knight. Up the middle. Stillwell makes the play, throws to first, 1 out. Johnson now will bat. He's 0 for 2. He's 0 for 2, still running a 6-game hitting streak. Here's the pitch from Soto. Johnson lines a base hit to right center. He'll hold it first. The hitting streak will continue, and he's on first. And the batter now is Darling. Now, what do you do here? You got to get a runner in, and Johnson's definitely a stealing threat. Darling, an excellent bunter, and we'll see a steal attempt. Here's the pitch. There goes Johnson, and he will take it without a throw. Second stolen base on the season for Howard. He's on second now. The batter is Darling, and now you can try to bunt him over to third. I don't think you turn to the bullpen just yet, especially the way the Mets bullpen has been so far in this early part of the season. Here's the bunt. Darling bunts it, and he throws the throw to first is in time. Johnson does move to third. Beautiful bunt. Now the tying run at third for Dykstra's 0 for 3, and he's due. Yep, Dykstra's got to come through now. You got the tying run at third base. The Mets have left 5 men on base in this game so far, but those 2 errors are what loom huge. Dykstra in the batter's box. Soto get there. And the pitch to Dykstra. Fly deep. Milner going back, and he's got it to make the catch. No runs, a hit, no errors. 7th inning stretch time. Let's take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard. The Yankees beat the Rangers 8-2. It was Toronto over Seattle 2-1. Oakland in bottom of the 7th. Oakland leads Boston 6-5. Detroit leading Minnesota in the 8th 1-0. Houston and Montreal tied at 3. Atlanta leads Philadelphia 3-1. The White Sox over Cleveland 2-1. Milwaukee leading California 3-0. And Baltimore, Kansas City scoreless in the 3rd. And we got some interesting pitching matchups there. Let's see, we have an interesting pitching matchups. Yeah, you got Mason versus Guidry in that Texas Yankees. It was Guidry who got the win. Mason got the loss. Steve is 1-0 so far. Roger Clemens at 2-2. Burt Blisle out of Minnesota at 3-2 so far. So that's the out-of-town scoreboard in seventh inning stretch, or I call it seventh inning scoreboard. And now we go to the bottom of the seventh. Darling still on the mound for the Mets. Ron Oster leads off for the Reds. He's 1 for 2. Here's the pitch to Oster. Struck him out. 5th strikeout for Darling. And now the batter is Soto. And I think we'll see what the Reds, if they intend for him to hit. Darling gets the call from Carter. And nope, it's going to be Max Venable. So Soto comes out. Venable will pinch hit. He's 3 for 15 for the replay with 3 RBIs. Here's the pitch from Darling. Outside corner, struck him out. That's the 6th strikeout for Darling, and now the batter is Milner. The only reason why Darling is losing this game is pretty much because of 2 big errors. Milner, the batter, though, he's 2 for 3. Fly to deep left, line to single, and hit a solo homer to right center to put the Reds ahead. Milner sets in. Here's the pitch. Just a bit high. Milner's going to go take a walk to first. And that is the 3rd walk issued by Darling. And now the batter is Rose, is 0 for 2. Milner, a bit of a stealing threat. They try to pick him off. And Milner is safe on a close call. They'll try again. This time they'll pitch to Rose. Here's the pitch to Pete. There goes Milner. The pitch is a strike. And Milner is out of there at second base. Another gun-down play by Carter. Stealing on Carter this season has not been easy. Nope. Carter's been actually thrown out more runners than have arrived there. Carter has been excellent behind the plate so far this season. No runs, no hits, no errors. 8th inning coming up, still 2-1 Reds. Wally Backman, the batter, he's 2 for 2. The new pitcher for the Reds will be John Franco. John Franco, one of those awesome pitchers that the Reds had and actually wound up being a Met later. In 1986, had a good year. 2.94 ERA, 6 wins, 6 losses, 29 saves. But the replay, however, he's gone off to a shaky start. 4.35 ERA, no wins, 4 losses, and 2 saves. Let's hope we can give him another one of those losses. Backman, the batter, he's 2 for 2. And here's the pitch. Fly ball down the right field line. Parker's got room. 1 out. And now Hernandez, who's 1 for 3 with a double. Hernandez gets in there. And here's the pitch from Franco. Slow roll in front of the plate. Diaz will not make a throw. Hernandez has an infield single. And Diaz didn't want to even make a chance on it because he knew if he threw, he would have thrown it away. Yeah, Rose, basically Rose put his hands up and said, don't even try it. Don't even try it. Let him get to first base. Better to have Hernandez on first than on second if you're the Reds. Here's Strawberry. He's 2 for 2. 1 out and a tying run at first. Hernandez, not a stealing threat. You got to let Strawberry hit. 2 for 2. He walked, doubled off the wall, and lined a single. Guarding the lines, trying to make sure he doesn't get a big one. Here's the pitch to Strawberry. Struck him out. And now the batter is Carter, who's 2 for 3 with an RBI. Hernandez still at first. And Carter will set it now. Here's the pitch. Deep fly ball down the left field line. But Davis makes the catch to retire the side. We go to the bottom of the 8th, 2-1 still Reds. Ron Darling says he seems fine. Pete Rose is the batter. And they're going to let Rose hit from, let's see, Rose does better against the lefties, so they'll keep Darling at the plate. Here's the pitch to Rose. Hits on the ground between third and short. Knight throws to first and will get him. And that's 1 out. Here's Dave Parker. Parker is 1 for 3. Darling's still showing he's all right. Parker's a lefty. He works worse against the right-handers. Darling will pitch. Here's the pitch to Parker. Line towards second. Into the outfield. That's going to be a base hit. Strawberry retrieves it and sends it back in. A one-out single for the Reds. The batter now will be Eric Davis. A big run at first base for the Mets, for the Reds. You want to definitely keep them there. Does Darling have enough left in the tank to get one more batter, or do you bring in somebody from the bullpen? Let's see who the Mets got. Right-handers, they have Terry Leach and McDowell available. Mitchell and Bereni pitched yesterday. I think I'm going to let Darling pitch one more batter. Here's the pitch to Davis. Struck him out. 7 strikeout for Darling. And the batter now will be Dave Concepcion, who's 1 for 3. And Concepcion hits only .224 against the right-handers, and that's going to be it for Darling, as he did his job. And I think the Mets are just going to bring somebody in, and it's going to be Leach. Coming on to pitch for the Mets, Terry Leach. No wins, a loss, 12.0 ERA. He's pitched 3 innings, but given up 5 hits and a walk. He has 3 strikeouts. Leach is in there probably just to tries to get a batter or 2, if necessary. Parker on at first. And here's the pitch from Leach. Carter throws to first. Parker got back safely. No balls and a strike. Here's the pitch to Concepcion. Grounds a single between first and second. Parker going to third. He'll make it. Strawberry scoops it up and tosses it back in. And now with runners at first and third and 2 outs, here's Stillwell. Stillwell is 0 for 3. Leach still on the mound. Mets trying to get 1 out. Here's the pitch to Stillwell. Struck him out and ends the inning. No runs, 2 hits, no errors. We go to the top of the 9th. Reds 2, New York Mets 1. Danny Heap will lead it off for the Mets. John Franco on the mound for the Reds. The Mets are 3 outs away from losing a series to the worst team in the game. Or one of them, I should say. I forgot about the Pirates. Danny Heap, the batter. He's 0 for 3. Flied out and lined out twice. Here's the pitch to Heap. Simple grounder to short. Stillwell. He's off the chest to Stillwell. Heap is going to be safe. A big error on Stillwell. That boy. I know that's not how you want to get on there, but if you're a Mets fan, you got to cheer that. But yeah, Stillwell, I think, was just ready to make the play, and it just got off the chest. That's a huge error for the Reds, and it puts the tying run on. Now here's Ray Knight, who's 0 for 3. Heap, not a threat to steal. Knight has grounded out into 3 double plays in the replay so far, 19 total in 86. Infield guarding the lines, outfield is normal. After Knight, you'd have Johnson in the pitcher. And I think you're going to try a bunt here. Here's the bunt. Knight bunts in front of the plate. Heap is going to go to second. Knight is going to be out. And then move Heap to second base. And that's not a bad idea. No, it's not. You get the runner in scoring position. Knight is 0 for 3. And you bring up Howard Johnson, who at least is 1 for 3 right now. Howard Johnson will probably have to bat. Terry Leach is the next batter. So you're going to have to pull in a pinch hitter for him. You could have somebody else bat for Johnson. And they're going to look at the bench. And you do have Foster, Mitchell, Santana, and Tuffle. And Mitchell is a killer against lefties. And he can also play shortstop. So we're going to see a pinch hitter. It makes sense. Coming in to pinch hit for the Mets will be Kevin Mitchell. They'll probably have Foster or Tuffle bat for Leach. But Mitchell will pinch hit. He's 10 for 31 for the replay. 2 doubles, 3 home runs. If anybody could get Heap in, it's him. Franco on the mound. Tying run at second base. Mitchell gets the call. Here's the pitch from Franco. Swung and a miss, struck him out. The Mets down to their last out. Terry Leach is at the plate. And you'll bring in Tim Tuffle to pinch hit. Tim Tuffle batting .275, a home run, 6 RBIs. a variable pitcher's duel, but the Mets with those 2 errors really cost them. Tuffle sets in the batter's box. Here's the pitch from Franco. Below the knees, it's a walk. So the game continues. Tuffle goes to first. The batter now is Dykstra, who's 0 for 4. Flied out, lined out, struck out, and flied out. He's had a lot of outs. If this is a chance for Dykstra to not have an 0 for 5 day, this is it now. Heap on it second, Tuffle on it first. 2 outs, top of the 9th. Reds 2, Mets 1. Dykstra gets in there. And here's the pitch from Franco. Nope, Diaz is going to go talk to him. And now here's the pitch. It's a ground ball up the middle. It's going to go to Oster. Throws it to Stillwell. That's it. Nothing across the top of the 9th. The Reds win the game 2-1 and take 2 out of 3 against the Mets. I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed. Yeah, I am too. You're the 1986 Mets. You're 11-8, and you just lost a series to the 7-13 Reds. So after 20 games this season, 11 wins, 9 losses, way behind where they were in 1986. Meanwhile, Cincinnati beats the Mets 2-1. Darling takes his second loss, drops to 1-2. Soto was beautiful. He advances to 2-3. Big hits by Milner and Parker, including a home run by Milner. A big error, though, allowed the Reds to score a run in the first. Backman, Hernandez, Strawberry, and Carter each had 2 hits today, but they just really couldn't bring the runners in. Had a lot of runners left on base. Ron Darling pitches 7.2. His ERA stands at 2.34. Terry Leach comes in. He actually pitched okay to get the 1 out, but the errors just did it in for the Mets today in a tough loss. So that'll do it here. The Mets, however, now once again tied with Philadelphia in the East after 20 games in this 1986 replay. The Mets will have a day off before hosting the Houston Astros on May 6th. It'll be Nepper versus Gooden in that game. That should be a lot of fun. Until then, everybody, this is Robert and this is Joseph. We'll see you next time for Action PC Baseball featuring the Mets. Have a good day, everybody.